YZF R125 is by far the best sports bike 125 that there is out there. Or is it? I'd like to know what your comments are, what your feelings and opinions are. Obviously, there's a fair few 125s out there in the market now, a fair few 125 sports bikes, and I admit this is a very nice looking bike, but is it the best? Is it the best looking? It obviously goes on personal preference and personal style, but like I said, there's a fair few out there, and I've got to admit, there's a fair few nice looking ones. So obviously, it goes without saying, I like the look of a YZF. I've always liked the look of a YZF. It's literally since I was 14, 15 years old and we were in school. I always used to say, I'm going to own one of them one day. I'm going to have a YZF. Obviously, I have now. But pretty much every car and every bike I said I'm going to own, I have done. But I've always liked the look of a YZF from the Gen 1. I think obviously the Gen 1 was very nice, but at the time when I ended up going and getting a sports bike, I ended up getting an Aprilia RS125, the Extrema edition with all the own restrictions and all that stuff. And for me, like, you had upside down forks, polished swing arm, and obviously 2-stroke power, so it was like, oh, it's too good to nod back him, too good to nod back. But yeah, so I basically, when I looked at YZF Gen 1, it was like, well, you don't even get upside down forks, you just get your telescopic forks, which are a bit rubbish. Obviously they weren't rubbish, but to me I thought, well, look at the Aprilia, how much of a bike you get for that compared to that. But the Gen 2 come out, that come with upside down forks and looked a hell of a lot better, and obviously then the Gen 3's come out and I absolutely love the styling. But along with time, there's been some other nice 125s, like there's the Aprilia RS4 125, very, very nice looking bike. There's the Derby, I want to say it's the Derby GPR 125, and that comes with like your anodized upside down forks, like your red colour usually. Still think that's a nice bike again. What other ones were there? The KTM RC. I still think the KTM RC 125, the first one, was a bit of a disturbance in the 125 scene, because it was like, bloody hell, KTM's actually released a sports bike on a 125 version, and it looked quite cool. I think the front end looked a bit weird, but then now the KTM RC 125, what you can get now, like the new version, I've got to admit, it is a nice looking bike. I don't know how it fares as far as like performance wise and stuff and handability, but it looks like a nice bike, and I'll be honest with you, I've always liked the bigger versions of them. I just think they're absolutely ridiculous. I think they look like a proper super bike, and I'll be honest with you, I think the 125, it doesn't look like a 125 in my eyes. I think it looks like a bigger bike. Like I say, I don't know what the power's like. I think it looks so nice. And then obviously you've got stuff like the Suzuki GXXR, like the 125 version obviously again, and I do think it's a nice bike, but again, you've not got your upside down forks. And for me, I think, well, you're coming from it's same as a Honda CBR as well. So the Honda CBR and the Suzuki GXXR 125, you're such a big name brand and you're a Japanese brand. Why have you not got upside down forks? I really don't understand that. I don't know if it's because you're saving weight and stuff, but I just think everyone else around you and all your competitors have got upside down forks. Why are you still stuck in the 90s type of thing? So there's other ones again. Hyosung GTR 125, very good bike, V-twin 125. Decent power on it, you can tune them up and actually get a fair bit of pull and a fair bit of power out of them. But then, yeah, I think if you're looking for a 125cc sports bike, on the market now there are so many to choose from, so many to have a look at. And I think even the QJ motor, actually, the QJ motor, I think it's the SR, I want to say it's the SRK, I think it's the SRK. That is such a nice bike, and like the bigger bike they do, like the 650, is ridiculous. So if you want to get a sports bike, you don't have to stick to the typical YZF R125. There are so many out there. I've had a look at a lot of reviews. There's a guy called Gilly Bikes, fantastic at doing reviews on YouTube and on TikTok. And yeah, I just think if you're looking at getting a 125 sports bike now, if sports bike's your thing, there are so many to choose from on the market. If you've got one though, as usual, let me know below. Let me know your thoughts and opinions if you're looking to get one. Oh, there's LXR 125 and LXS as well, Lex Motor. Obviously they're the ones out there which not everyone likes, but I still think they look good. Upside down forks, wavy disc up front, nice colour scheme, like the LXR 125 SE with a red and black carbon fibre. Very nice looking bike, but is it up there with the reliability? I don't know. Yeah, let me know, guys, what you think is the best looking 125 sports bike. Best for reliability, best for handling, best for performance. What is your opinion? Obviously this is 4 strokes I'm talking about, not 2 strokes.